Hi everyone, I'm Russ Hamilton. I'm a retired sergeant with the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation.
Hey there, Tier Talk fans. Russ Hamilton here from Keepers of Chaos. Anyway, Anthony Ganji asked that I do a video on a subject of someone that wrote him in an email. And this is a question that I get a lot of the times too. I'm not sure why I haven't done a video on this before. But anyway, basically here goes. This individual is brand new, and like a lot of brand new people, I often get this question from them is, it's going to be their first day where they're going to be exposed to pepper spray. Yeah, I love pepper spray day. It's the funnest ever.
There we go. Open your eyes, Hoyt. Open them. Open them. Okay.
Defensive stance. Defensive stance.
Control.
Get back.
Control.
Get back.
Try to control one of them, Hoyt.
Get back.
So anyway, just to, go through this whole thing there, it always seems that people that are in that position, they really every single time just about miss what the lesson's about. So let's start with that first of all. The lesson that you're about to experience on your first pepper spray day is not about how to do decontamination.
And that's why
you're right.
Or something like that, Stockland. That's what makes it better. There you go. Hey, that works.
No,
and you didn't take your mind off of it.
Kick me in the head.
We will cover that though. But everyone focuses on that because they are so hyped up and stressed out over what it's going to be like because they've heard the stories and all the burning, it's the devil's piss and all this. You know what? Can it for a minute. The lesson that you're about to receive on your first pepper spray day is about how to deal with it and how to deal with it in an emergent situation where you're going to have to probably self-extract yourself out of the riot area.
Coming at you. Crossing mission, RCS on PT field, South Salt. Agree with PT. Get back. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right now. Get on the ground. Get back! Push the button.
Because what happens is there's a lot of times where we fail to take into account things like, the wind. We fail to take into account sometimes crossfire from our buddies. Sometimes there'll just be so much on inmates and stuff that sometimes it'll sling off onto you, come back and get in your eyes. I've been exposed. I can't even begin to tell you how many times. But when that happens, if you're in the middle of a riot and stuff is still happening, you need to learn how to get out of there. That's what the lesson's about. Okay? Not about how to decontaminate when you're when you're back safe at home or back safe in your dorm at the academy or whatever. That's not what the lesson's about. So let's talk what the lesson is about. Just a few quick things that you always want to think about when you're using pepper spray. First of all, pepper spray is great. It's one of the most flexible, easiest to use weapons that we have at our disposal. And it's pretty safe for everyone around you. Some people will get reactions and stuff to it, and have a little bit, more swelling and stuff. But for the most part, it's really safe. When you've used it on an individual, especially if you put that individual in cuffs, you need to make sure that individual is turned over and told and instructed, no, do not lay back down on your stomach, because there's a little thing called positional asphyxia where they can, interfere with the breathing enough to actually stop them from breathing. If they're not on their stomach, that doesn't tend to be a problem. So, anyway, I've used pepper spray on people probably hundreds of times, and it's worked well in almost every situation. You have to be aware, though, that there are some individuals, especially if they're high on drugs or if they're in, an agitated mental state, they already have a previously existing mental condition. Sometimes it won't affect them, or it won't affect them very much. So you got to keep that in mind. So if you're out there and you're on the yard and you and your buddy that you're spraying, a couple, 3 inmates that are there, and some wind carries some back in your eyes, and suddenly the whole yard blows the rest of the way up. What are you going to do? Well, you need to think about how you're going to extract yourself from that situation. Hopefully your buddy is going to be thinking, clearly enough that he's going to help you egress from that area. But if you can't, or if you might need, a little extra speed, take it from me, because I've done this myself. You can reach and open your eyeball up. All right. Is it going to be pleasant? Is it going to be fun? No, but it'll help you get out of there. The second thing is that you need to be able to control your breathing. Do not breathe deeply. This is one of the reasons that you should stay in shape, so that your cardiopulmonary set of organs there is able to operate at a lower rate, which keeps you from deeply inhaling it, because it will inflame your the inside of your chest and cause you to hack and cough and probably vomit as well if it gets too deep. I've seen that happen before. I've had it happen to myself before.
Come on, what do you need?
So you want to be in good condition. You want to try and not breathe deeply to the best of your ability. Hopefully, if you're in a forward-thinking department, maybe you can deploy your gas mask and that sort of thing to help you be able to, stay in control, stay calm. That is the point of the lesson that they're teaching you. Sometimes they don't articulate it very well, though. Or if they do articulate it, you're so amped up about it that you're not paying attention and you're worried about decon. Okay. So the takeaways from this is that pepper spray is a great weapon. It's great for using on inmates, because you can spray 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, especially if you've got, a big MK9 on there on your belt. But which makes it, much more flexible than, say, using a taser is. Because a taser, you're stuck there with one guy and wires and stuff. So the next thing, remember that positional asphyxia. You do not want to leave an inmate in a position where he can't defend himself from other inmates, or in a position where, he's down on his stomach and he's going to stop breathing. We want to get those people rolled over as soon as possible. You don't have to do it that instant. You got to finish your cuffing technique, maybe prepare to do an escort or whatever, but pretty quick. We need to get them rolled over. We need to make sure that they're breathing, because the next thing that we always have to do with those inmates is we have to provide them with decontamination.
All right. Close your hands up. Need water?
Kneel down.
Face? Yeah, everything. Your forehead, your nose, your ears, your eyelids. Scrub it good.
All right, we're going to talk about decontamination. Your department may have different ideas about what you absolutely must do for an inmate. So I'm going to leave that alone, but I will tell you this. All that we had to do for them is be able to, place them in a position where they had fresh air. We try and put them, sometimes there'd be, a place where a breeze would be blowing, or we would have them in an outside, holding cell or something like that, stand them, face them into the wind. The same thing, though, goes for you. I'll tell you this right now. If you are getting sprayed and you are not sweating, all right, repeat, not sweating, the best possible thing that you can use is just standard air, and have it blow over you. See if you can find a fan or something like that and have it just blow over you. As that fan blows over you, all of that OC will start to dry up and it will flake off naturally and on its own. Okay. So the next best thing, though, is, if you really feel that you must, is cold running water. All right. Cold running water. It will take the sting away up until the point that you stop applying it, and then it will instantly come back, and it will actually probably feel worse than it did when you started. And so that you must constantly be in that stream of cold water the whole time. And that's what makes, that's what makes the air decontamination so much more effective, is because that will start, peeling off, and that whole, burning sensation will start to come down, and you'll be fine, after just, an hour and a half, something like that. Now, if you couldn't take it and you've got to that point where you've had to put the cold water and stuff on it, okay, you'll get to a point finally, and it might be quite a while further down the road where everything feels okay. And it's going to feel okay right up until the point where you put water on it again. And that's what we refer to as reactivation. And you're going to burn all over again. So I prefer not using the water at all. But you're going to have to see how much of that pain tolerance that you can have, right? So the next part of decontamination is if you've got it and you can use a non-oil based soap, preferably something that's an actual detergent like Dawn, that will take and it will, it'll get that oil base of the OC, up off of your skin, and it will allow it to be floated away by the water. That doesn't mean it's going to be 100%. You're still going to feel the effects of it. Now, a lot of people will also swear by, like Johnson's No More Tears, baby shampoo. I've never tried it. So I haven't can say I have any luck with it. Also, one thing that I have tried one time that works great is a nice little paste of activated charcoal, right? That activated charcoal, to me, I think that's the best thing. It has a lot of surface area on it, and it will just, suck up all of that OC and make it work and wash right off your skin. So anyway, those are my big points for decontamination, right? Make of it what you will, but by and large, air is better. The other thing that you need to remember is don't use water that's in a sink where you're splashing it up and you're contaminating the water and then bringing the chemical agent back up onto your face again. That's really not going to do anything, because you're just going to keep, exposing yourself to it over and over again, and the dilution factor goes way down. So if you're going to use water, it has to be cold running water, right? And, that's basically it. It's not rocket science. And I hope that everyone gets something out of this lesson. I'm going to try and do an even bigger and better video on this in the future. Maybe we'll see if we can get together with Anthony Ganji, and maybe I'll take you through the whole thing, and maybe I'll let him spray me, and we can talk about all of that. Maybe we can talk about some more stories and stuff too. This is just the basics of OC pepper spray. This is Russ Hamilton signing off.